the penultimate episode of Accused, it decides to change up the formula a little bit, and that begins with not seeing the person who's accused stepping out of whatever the holding cell is, getting ready for their court case. So starting off, our lead character for this is Jessie, and her main issue is that she doesn't know who her father is. From what she's been told, her mother Kara did IVF through sperm donation, and that's how Jessie came to be. But with Jessie having another ACL tear and being told it's some type of genetic thing that's leading to her having so many issues, it increasingly makes the 16 or 17-year-old Jessie want to know who is her dad, which is something that Kara has no desire at the current time to reveal, never mind to even really help Jessie learn. Going to the second topic, we're going to introduce Will, who is Jessie's best friend and somebody that Kara's very worried about Jessie getting a little too close to. And that's because while Will is a good kid, at the same time, he's also someone who enables Jessie to a certain point. And on the light side, that's just helping her do a 23andMe kit. But on the worst side is the issue that leads to her crime, which is breaking and entering. Or when Kara, to stop this whole pursuit of who her dad is, decides to produce some document which talks about the dad in very vague terms, it only leads Jessie to want more information. And since Kara presents the idea that the dad is dead and she doesn't know anything else and can't get anything else, Jessie decides to follow up with the cryo bank that Kara allegedly used. And when they won't give her any information on the phone, she has Will help her break into the place and try to look for records, but alas, no records are to be found. Now, it should be noted, increasingly, Kara really did not like Will and Jessie being together and hanging out, and we eventually find out why. And we find out why as Jessie ends up having a court case and Will's father, Dominic, and Kara have a conversation. In that conversation, we learn that the reason why Will's mother, Andrea, doesn't like Kara that much is because Kara slept with Dominic while Andrea was overwhelmed by raising her first child, Fern. And because Dominic felt he wasn't getting enough attention, he wasn't getting enough love, emotional support, whatever, one thing led to another with Kara while she was drunk. Or while they both were drunk, rather, just to make it clear that it wasn't like he took advantage of her. At least it doesn't seem that way. Anyway, before that, Andrea and Kara were best friends. Her sleeping with Dominic ruined that, and now we learn that Dominic is Jessie's father. Hence why Kara doesn't want Will and Jessie to be close, because that would be incest, even if they're half siblings, but either way, ill. So he decides, in order to keep Kara from talking to Jessie about the truth, because Kara blames herself for what Jessie did in terms of breaking and entering, he's gonna be Jessie's lawyer in exchange for Kara keeping her mouth shut. However, despite Jessie originally trying to throw away that 23andMe kit that she was secretly trying to do with Will, he decides to go through the trash. He sends it out, and he actually learned that they're siblings. He confronts Dominic about it, forces Dominic to tell Andrea, who decides to leave Dominic for a little bit. But everything strangely ends up well. Now, Dominic and Andrea, their marriage still is rocky, but at the very least, Andrea and Kara have a heart-to-heart, come to Jesus moment, talk about what happened, seemingly reconcile, though, just like Andrea's on the path to forgiveness with Dominic, so is she with Kara. And in terms of the kids, though it's kind of weird that Will and Jessie almost kissed, with their older sister Fern, they're now just one big happy family. And in terms of Jessie's case, once the judge heard the full story, she lets Jessie go with probation and community service. And with that, things end on a rather light note. So in terms of the review section, really there's only one highlight, and it's not even like a big time A+, 85, whatever highlight. It's light. And that's just the fact that this episode took a different approach compared to not just recent episodes, but most of the episodes in general. This episode had a rather light topic compared to the others, considering it was just a question of who is Jessie's dad, rather than her killing someone, trying to save a baby, being molested or raped or something like that. And I appreciate it because even though we feel that oftentimes accused doesn't live up to its potential, there is no denying that it has a very diverse set of stories within the first season. And with Jessie's story, it's something lighthearted, kind of feels like a Lifetime movie, but it was entertaining, it was likable, understandable what you did in order to try to get some type of resolution, and when it came to the crime and the punishment, it fit. Add in a nice little ending that's, yes, it definitely is a little bit wishful thinking because Andrea just went through a lot, but at the same time, because Andrea is a therapist, you can see her trying to give the kind of grace she would give her patients to both Dominic and also to Kara, especially since the incident happened like 16, 17 years ago. And granted, it was a secret kept for 16, 17 years, but again, it was a secret kept by Kara for the sake of the kids, so that she can keep this rent-controlled apartment, especially in New York City. So there's a lot of reasons to give grace, which, again, make it so when it comes to Andrea, you may feel that she definitely gave a little bit too much leeway and she's maybe getting along a little bit too much. But again, she's a therapist, she's an adult. This is something that has probably been a long time coming, even if she just now got confirmation that Jessie is Dominic's kid. But, you know, for most of the endings, things are kind of left oblique or, ominous. So getting an ending that actually can be considered happy is a nice change of pace, especially for the penultimate episode of the season. Overall, the ebb and flows of accused are so frustrating. But while it lacks consistency, at the very least, this episode gives viewers a reprieve from the usual stuff we're given, which half the time is either a sob story or something that is truly just something you expect to see in Law and Order or some type of other crime show.